Hey guys, it's Kayla, and I just wanted to do a quick update video with you all, let you know what I'm currently reading, what's been going on in my life, where have I been the last 2 months, what I've been binge watching on Netflix essentially. Basically, I've been struggling with a ruptured disc in my back the last month and a half. I can barely walk, it hurts to sit. I missed Y'all Fest because of it, so it's really depressing and kind of defeating, and I can't really do much. So let's get into the fun stuff, like reading, writing, or lack thereof, and what I've been doing and watching on Netflix. Besides reading and binge watching Netflix, one of the things that I've been doing in my spare time, and you might have seen in my Instagram account, I've been doing custom quote art for people. For example, I did this 1,000 years quote for someone. It's in gold lettering and such, so I've been doing that in my spare time for a few extra dollars, and I just love to do it. I love lettering and all that good stuff, so if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure that you do so below, the link's below, so yeah, you can go check that out. Let's get into the Netflix fall recap here. I started watching American Horror Story on Netflix, and I got to like episode 7, and then my boyfriend started watching it without me, and then I didn't really have the desire to continue the season, but I thought it was really good, and despite not liking horror at all, which I hate horror, I was actually finding it really interesting and not so scary that I couldn't tolerate it, but I feel like it was the subject material. I feel like Murder House is more tame than, say, like Asylum. That kind of sounds scarier, so I don't know about continuing. I've also been watching Parenthood. I used to watch that show like back in season 3, and then I lost track of it. Love Parenthood. It is such a good show, such relatable characters and family drama, and I just love it so much. The acting is fantastic, and I'm currently waiting for the final season to be released in December, and I will be binge watching that for sure. And then there was The 100, so I started watching that, watched the first 2 seasons, 3rd season starts in January. Love this show so much, and I feel like it's so underrated. Like, nobody talks about it outside of like my friends on BookTube here. I'm just in love. It's kind of like, it reminds me of Lost, and like it doesn't really focus that much on relationships. It's more about character development and action, and I just love it so much. And I'm surprised because it started off a little rocky, but season 2 was so dark and gritty, and I loved every minute of it. And I also got completely caught up on House of Cards. I can't say enough about Kevin Spacey's acting. It is just incredible, and I can't believe he hasn't won an Emmy yet for this show. He's just so ruthless and brilliant, and bravo Kevin Spacey. And also Robin Wright. She is fantastic on the show as his wife. She plays like a Lady Macbeth type character to his Macbeth. Sometimes the subject material can just fly over my head, but after a while I get what's going on, and if it was too confusing I wouldn't watch it. So I highly recommend that you try it out. What else? Let's talk about NaNoWriMo, or the lack thereof. I was supposed to do all these activities with Lainey and Riley. We had the whole month planned, and they still did them, and I'm sorry guys for not participating. Hopefully we can collab again in the future, which I'm sure we will, because we are. #Wolfpack. What have I read lately? Well, about end of September, beginning of October, I decided to try the Addicted series, which is a new adult series by Krista Becca Ritchie. I had dabbled in new adult before. I read one book. It was I forget what book I read. I think it was called I Want It That Way by Anne Aguirre. I can't remember. But it wasn't really impressive to me at the time. I thought new adult is basically YA with sex scenes. Basically, that was in my head the whole time. Jillian, Lainey, and Riley were talking about the Addicted series and how like they were so excited about the characters and like different things like that, and I'm like, okay. And I saw that the first book, Addicted to You, was free on the Kindle app, and I was like, okay, if it's free, why not try it? A month and a half later and 9 books later, I can officially say that I am addicted to the Addicted series and the Calloway Sister series. It is just so good. The characters are incredible. The writing is so consistent. I'd say there's like 6 main characters throughout this whole series, and they all intertwine with each other's lives. And if you're thinking about trying new adult, I highly recommend trying this, because I feel like it's not just sex for sex. I feel like it makes sense, and the characters, all 6 characters, have unique personalities, and they're so different from one another. And when you're reading each character's perspective, you know that you're in their chapter. Like, you know that you're reading Connor, or that you're reading Rose. My 2 favorites, let's be real here. And one of the cool things about the characters is that they're kind of high society. Lily's dad created the product that beat out Coca-Cola, so they're kind of rich, and they have to deal with that. that, and then something happens and they're thrown into the spotlight throughout the series and they have to deal with that and the paparazzi and everything. It's just really kind of eye-opening too for like celebrities. Like, is that how we treat them? Is that really how we treat them? I don't know, like, I just find it so fascinating. And like I said, the book series, guys, is just incredible. You'll love all the characters, and yeah, I highly recommend the Addicted series. And I can actually do a series review if you guys want to see that. Just let me know below in the comments. Reading this series reminded me of the way I felt while I read the A-List series in high school. I don't know if you ever read that, the A-List series by Zoe Dean about Hollywood's elite in Beverly Hills. It kind of made me feel nostalgic in a way, because the way I got lost in this series is the way I got lost in the A-List series. I also received Winter by Marissa Meyer the day it came out. I pre-ordered it, and I'm still only 170 pages into it. It's not that I don't want to read it. Obviously, it's Winter. It's the last book in the Lunar Chronicles, and I've been waiting forever. But because I've been waiting forever, I have that book syndrome where I've been waiting forever for you, so I'm not gonna fly through you. I don't know. Can anyone relate to this? It happens to me all the time. So I put down Winter, and I picked up The Name of the Wind finally. And I tried to start this book back in January or February of 2014, and I got like 50 pages into it, but I wasn't in the mood to read at the time, so I put it down, and now I'm about halfway through, and I just love it. I think the hype is so deserved. The writing is just, oh, so good. So good. And I mean, I know everybody hates Quoth. I'm not really sure why everybody hates Quoth at the moment. I mean, I guess he's telling his own story, and he comes across as arrogant as he's growing up, but I mean, it's darker than I expected, and it's just different than I expected, and I'm just loving it so much. And if you like high fantasy at all, if you like storytelling, if you like adventure, I highly recommend picking up The Name of the Wind at some point. Even though it's a mammoth, I understand it's like this thick, but it's totally worth it. Alright guys, that's it for this recap video. Let me know below what you've been up to. Let me know below what you're currently reading or currently watching. I love to talk about television and books, so let me know below. And I will see you all soon with another video, and I won't be gone for long, I promise.